Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to share a project with you today using a couple of brand new items from the latest release from Photoplay's Say It With Stamps collection by Becky Moore. This stamp set here is called the Floral Heart Stamp Set. It's a large 6x8 stamp set. It does have a coordinating die, but there's a large, beautiful heart in here filled with florals, an envelope bursting with them, single florals, and lots of fun sentiments filled with love. And so we're going to make a Valentine's Day card with this today. We are going to jump in and get started by doing a little bit of stamping. I'm bringing in my stamping positioner, and then we're going to lightly tack down some white alcohol marker friendly cardstock in the corner of it. The image we're going to be using is the heart bursting with flowers. I love the flowers in here, and we'll place this where we want it on our panel. And then the nice thing is there's some single flowers in the stamp set, and these single flowers you can layer on existing flowers in that envelope. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stamp some additional flowers. There's one that looks like a bluebell. We're going to stamp that, and then there's one that looks like a daisy. We're going to also stamp that. Let's put this back. I kind of wanted to go with my stamps. New stamps have a tendency to do that. I'll ink up my images with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. It's the ink that I prefer to do or to use when I use my alcohol markers or Copic markers, and that's what we're going to use to color in the images today. But of course, use your favorite black ink and your favorite coloring medium to color in your images. I didn't get a very good impression the first time, so I'm going to restamp, and then I'm going to clean off that envelope with the floral and stamp a couple more of those flowers. So we have 3 extra bluebells and 3 extra daisies for layering on that large envelope image. Okay, once we have our image stamped, I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. I just skipped the coloring, guys, but once I'm done coloring, I'm going to go ahead and take the coordinating dies and die cut out my image. You can see here I used greens and pinks for my flowers, and then bright red for the heart on the envelope, and the single flowers I just coordinated the colors that were on that envelope. I think this is so pretty. I think this would be great for Mother's Day too, so I love versatility in stamp sets. Okay, we are going to put our dies away, and we're going to do our layering before we do a little bit more die cutting. Since our flowers are on the smaller side, instead of putting the foam squares behind the smaller flowers, sometimes I like to put it on the larger image. So 3 of the bluebells will fit perfectly on the bluebells that are over here on the right of our envelope, and then the 3 daisies will fit over here on the left. And so I'm going to put foam squares on each one of those. It's just easier to add them and then remove the release paper all at once. This way all you have to do is pick up your small flowers and then replace, just place them over the foam squares. And I love doing this because I like dimension on my cards. I just think it adds an extra surprise element, and I love that these flowers you could do a little bit of layering with. So once we have our pink bluebells added, we're going to add our pink daisies, and then our envelope bursting with flowers is good to go, and I think it's just gorgeous. Next we are going to take a white, let's take a close look out so you can see the dimension. I just think it just adds that extra specialness to your card project. I'm bringing in my white gel pen, and I like to highlight solid areas of the heart. Just adds a little extra roundness to the heart, and then some of the flowers needed flower centers, so I'm just using my white gel pen to add a couple dots to the center of some of the daisies and the flowers in our bouquet. So that image is good to go. We're going to set this aside and do a little bit of die cutting. I am going to bring in a slimline die set. That's the best thing about slimline dies. You can use them for all different cards. I took the largest tag die in the scalloped frame etched metal die set. And this is from Becky Moore's Say It With Stamps collection also. This has been around for a while. It's not new, but love this tag. I die cut that out with white cardstock, and then we'll put this back and do a little bit more die cutting using the Notebook and Banners die set. I think notebooks, paper with an envelope just goes perfect together. And so we're going to die cut out that notebook with some pattern paper using the Photoplay Say It With Stamps Collection's bright 6x6 paper pad. I chose the red pattern paper in here. The nice thing is the front side is two-toned, 2 tones of red. We'll die cut this out with that notebook edge die, and then we're also going to trim down a 1/2 inch strip. So if you flip over your tone-on-tone paper, you're going to get a red and white striped, diagonal striped background. And I was showing you the negative part of the postage, the notebook edge. I think that makes a great border too, so keep that on hand and put it in your scrap stash. I think it's just as pretty as your notebook edge. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit more stamping to finish off our project. I'm bringing in this is actually a brand new, new from this release too, background stamp. This is called the Scattered Hearts background stamp, and I inked up the middle of the stamp with my red ink, and then I added a strip of white cardstock. We're going to press down really good. I just removed the acetate from the back side, so the acetate on the front of the stamp is still there. It just makes it easier. And then I stamped a background full of hearts on that strip of white cardstock. I'm going to use the same red colors that I used to color in the heart on my envelope, and we're going to fill this background in with a bunch of red hearts. Basically just 2 different colors. Filling in the heart with a lighter red and then doing a little bit of highlighting with the darker red. So we have a heart-filled strip of Valentine patterns here. I went ahead and adhered that strip of the diagonal stripe paper. Again, you just flip over your tone-on-tone paper and you get that stripe. I added that to the bottom of my card base. I have a little bit of overhanging, so we're going to trim off the excess with the scissors. And I'm not sure if I want this above my tag in my notebook paper or behind it. So I only added a little bit of adhesive. Before I commit, I like to play around with placements. You're going to find that a lot with my videos. I like to change things up. On the very top of our tag, I'm going to stamp Love You. I love the script of this. I think it goes perfect with the notebook edge paper. I stamped that with my dark black ink. I happen to use VersaFine Onyx black ink. It's my favorite ink to use for sentiments. We're going to go ahead and add some white twine to the top of our tag. I just loop it through, and I like to secure my tag to my projects and then tie the bow. It seems I get a straighter bow that way, so we're not going to tie it just yet. I think we're going to lift up our heart pattern paper here and place our notebook paper down first. So we're going to flip it around. I'm going to add some adhesive behind it, and this is going to go in the center of our panel. We're going to evenly space it from left to right, and then from the top, the bottom is going to go all the way down to the bottom. So any excess overhanging, we're just going to trim off. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same with our tag. We're going to flip it around, add some adhesive behind it. I'm not going to press down too good, only because I want to do, I want to make sure that when I add my envelope with the bouquet of flowers that I'm not covering up my sentiment. So before I commit to my placement, I'm just going to play around with the placement. And I actually think I got it pretty good. So we're going to press down real good. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and trim off the excess here. And then we are going to go ahead and add our strip. We're going to add some more adhesive on the bottom strip, and then we're going to place this at the very bottom of our card base. Okay, now we're going to tie our bow at the very top. Just kind of loop it through, straighten it out. I do end up trimming the tails quite a bit of the twine, and then our bow is good to go. Now I already added some fun foam behind our bouquet of flowers here. What I did was took the same coordinating die that I did to die cut out my image, used that same die and die cut out a piece of fun foam. This way all I have to do is add adhesive or glue to the very bottom and then to the very top to add my image. This gives it a more solid feel, and it doesn't sway when you mail it also. So break out your fun foam for a large image like that, because there's detail in there. It was just so pretty. I added a little bit of sparkle using some stickles. These are diamond stickles, and then I'm going to go over the heart center with glossy accents for a little bit of shine there. But that's my project today, guys, using the Photoplay Say It With Stamps collection Floral Heart Stamp Set. I hope you enjoyed my project. I'll see you soon for another project. Have a great day. Bye-bye.